Live from downtown Detroit, home of WDIV and Click on Detroit, Local 4 News at 11 starts now.
Going remote. One of the biggest school districts in Michigan announces all students will now learn online as coronavirus cases surge. Ben.
Kim, we fell just short of a record high today, but we could break multiple records in the days ahead. We'll look at all the warmth coming up.
All right, Ben, we're going to begin, though, tonight with the race to 270. As we head into the weekend, no winner has been declared in the presidential race yet. And we just, of course, heard from Joe Biden.
The electoral map has looked like this for days now. Joe Biden is still ahead of President Trump with 264 electoral votes to the president's 214. But tonight, we do have new numbers from the states that are too close to call.
Biden continues to expand his lead in Pennsylvania, up by 27,000 votes, with 96% of the vote now counted.
In Nevada, new numbers put Biden up by 22,000 votes. 93% of the vote is in there. Still
an incredibly tight race in Georgia, where just 4,000 votes separate former Vice President Biden with President Trump. 99% of the vote is in, so this is almost certainly going to be headed for a recount in Georgia. Now, moments ago, Joe Biden spoke in Delaware.
And he says he's confident.
We don't have a final declaration of victory yet, but the numbers tell us it's clear. Tell us a clear and convincing story. We're going to win this race. Just look at what has happened since yesterday. 24 hours. We were behind in Georgia. Now we're ahead, and we're going to win that state. 24 hours ago, we were behind in Pennsylvania, and we are going to win Pennsylvania.
So clearly, the former vice president says he expects to win when all the counting is finally finished.
But President Trump is vowing to fight on even if Biden is declared the winner. We have team coverage tonight with Mara McDonald following Republican questions into Michigan's vote count, and Larry Spruill with Wayne County's warning about recent threats.
Let's start there with Alice Barr and the latest on where things stand in the national picture. Alice.
In Delaware tonight, the stage is set, but no celebration yet, as Joe Biden builds what appears to be an insurmountable electoral lead. The Democratic challenger spent the day eyeing two potential paths to the White House, a knockout in Pennsylvania or a 1-2 punch in Arizona and Nevada. On Twitter, President Trump lamenting the loss of his early lead, suggesting legal challenges could reverse his fortunes, and warning Biden not to do what he had already done, declare victory prematurely. The president's legal efforts have so far failed to stop the counting, instead firing up Americans on both sides of the political divide, venting a new level of fear and frustration with the electoral process. A very different perspective from their fellow citizens sworn to count these votes fairly and impartially. Battleground election officials confident in the process.
The strength of the integrity of this vote is really unparalleled.
We will get it right, and we will defend the integrity of our elections.
The time for tallying votes winding down. The nation now counting on an answer. Who will occupy the White House for the next 4 years?
Alice Barr, Local 4.
And tomorrow, Michigan's Republican-led House and Senate will hold a joint oversight committee hearing about the election.
They announced that meeting after the head of the Republican National Committee spoke in Oakland County, claiming there were irregularities in the vote here, but thus far not really offering any proof. Let's get to Mara McDonald live with more on that. Mara.
Hi, Devin, and as you well know, having legislators in Lansing for committee hearings on a Saturday, that's a pretty rare thing. The House and Senate oversight committees are in session tomorrow. Republican Chair Senator Ed McBroom says pouring gas on every potential fear and spreading doubt about the integrity of the system is not the answer, nor is ignoring troubling reports and dismissing out of hand anecdotal evidence that problems may exist. Now, RNC chairwoman and Michigan native Ronna McDaniel was in Oakland County today asserting there are claims that need to be addressed.
Today, we announced that the RNC has deployed legal teams in 4 states, including Michigan, to investigate clear irregularities with vote counting and tabulation in those states.
What are some of these issues? Well, Republican complaints about the counting process at the TCF Center, which both the Secretary of State and the state's former elections director say are nonsense. As Detroit officials have stated, hundreds of challengers from both parties were inside their absent voter counting board all afternoon and evening. Some windows were covered up to stop those outside from filming the people and private information in the counting board, while other windows were left uncovered to ensure additional transparency. And then questions over why Antrim County had flipped Trump and Biden's votes. Answer: human error. And why 2,000 votes flipped in Rochester Hills, which was caught and rectified. Rochester Hills clerk Tina Barton, who is a Republican, explains.
This was an isolated mistake that was quickly rectified once realized. Every voter should have complete confidence in our voting system. Every vote that was cast was counted accurately, and there is a paper ballot backup.
Back here live, I can tell you with everyone that I have spoken with in Lansing today, I don't know anybody who thinks that after these oversight hearings, there is going to be some sort of major ballot shift here in Michigan. We're live in Troy tonight. I'm Mara McDonald. Back to you.
Okay, Mara. Protests remained mostly peaceful outside the TCF Center downtown today, but today police dealt with multiple threats over the election.
A woman claimed a bomb was left near the TCF Center, and a Wayne County building closed over a threat to storm the building and steal ballots. Larry Spruill live in Greektown. Larry, the sheriff has a message for anyone looking to cause trouble.
Well, Devin and Kimberly, his message is simple. Those offenders will face consequences. Now, all of this is because he received threats of people trying to go inside the treasurer's office and steal the ballots. Meanwhile, at the TCF Center just down the street or around town, protesters were out there for 3 days in a row. Tensions continue in Detroit Friday night, just days after the election, from the TCF Center to the treasurer's office in Greektown.
There was some concern that there may have been people who were going to attempt to enter the clerk's office and maybe either steal or destroy the ballots that were stored there.
Wayne County Sheriff Benny Napoleon says that's why they closed the Wayne County's treasurer's office here in Greektown early Friday afternoon.
This is the most tense election time that I've ever seen, and it really is a little disturbing that people who are exercising the most fundamental of the principles of democracy, which is the right to vote.
We are not going to back down.
On Wednesday, just 1 day after the election, Donald Trump supporters protested outside the TCF Center, demanding to be let inside the very place where poll workers were counting ballots. Those protests continue Thursday and Friday after former Vice President Joe Biden was projected as winning the state of Michigan. Sheriff Napoleon says he's never witnessed anything like this before.
You know, in my 46 years in policing, I have never experienced anything like this surrounding an election, and I've seen many.
And so I did ask the sheriff, what did he mean by consequences? And he tells me this. He says, Larry, if anybody tries to go inside the treasurer's office and steal or destroy ballots, they will be arrested. We're live in Greektown tonight. Larry Spruill, Local 4.
Got it. All right, Larry. Now let's move to the coronavirus, as Michigan marked a grim milestone today, surpassing 200,000 total cases.
The state reported 3,763 new cases today and 43 more deaths. The top Democrat and the state Senate Minority Leader Jim Ananich announced he has tested positive for the virus. The Flint legislator says he's feeling okay and hasn't been at the Senate since his exposure. And hospitals in the area are also seeing an increase in patients. The Henry Ford Health System says it has 226 patients across its 6 hospitals, and Beaumont is seeing a rise as well.
Even though mortality is lower now, you know, it's not zero. I'm still watching people die from this. I'm still watching people get intubated from this, get sicker despite doing everything we're doing. And I'm watching people be devastated by this. You know, both, you know, families, friends, children. I mean, it is devastating to have a family member with COVID.
And with cases surging, today the University of Michigan encouraged undergrad students to take remote classes during the winter semester. U of M canceled all housing contracts for undergrads and is ramping up testing on campus.
More school districts across Metro Detroit going back to remote learning, with the second largest school district in the state, in fact, making that announcement today. Utica Community Schools says it will transition to fully online learning for all grades within the next week. The district says it made that decision because of this recent spike in cases and a high percentage of exposures throughout its schools. So Utica joins districts like Bloomfield Hills, West Bloomfield, Grosse Pointe, and Berkeley to moving back to remote.
The Rochester Community School Board of Education says its team has received threats of physical violence. The board says it happened earlier this week, but didn't give details about what happened. But the district did announce this week it would be going back to fully remote learning for all students for the time being.
Big freeway closure just began in Oakland County starting at 11 tonight. Both directions of I-75 from 8 Mile up to 696 closed for the entire weekend. Crews will be demolishing part of the overpass at 9 Mile, also fixing the pavement. I-75, though, expected to reopen in time for the Monday morning commute about 5 a.m. But keep it in mind if you're out and about this weekend. There is another big lettuce recall here in Michigan.
The brand you'll want to get rid of because it may be contaminated with E. coli.
And after the Today Show's Al Roker is diagnosed with prostate cancer, his doctors have a message about screening and who's most vulnerable. Let's check in with Ben.
Devin, our temperatures are going to be very easy to remember in the 7-day forecast. For the 7 days, exact same number. We'll see where it goes from there coming up.
Okay, Ben, and witnesses say it sounded like a war zone. Hear what sparked a deadly shootout with Detroit police. Next.